Hey guys, it's Casey, and I wanted to do a quick vlog today, which is somewhat of a recap on what's been happening in my life recently. A few weeks ago, I went and auditioned for the Groundlings program. If you're not familiar with it, the Groundlings is an improv school here in Los Angeles. It's been around for quite a while, I think since the 70s. And as far as alumni goes, they have a lot of successful former students from Groundlings who have gone to do really big things in comedy and film and stuff. Some of which are Will Ferrell, Kathy Griffin, Cheryl Hines, Phil Hartman, Rachel Harris, Lisa Kudrow, John Lovitz, Melissa McCarthy, Paul Rubens, and the fabulous Kristen Wiig. And also Jack Black and a lot of other really well-known successful actors and actresses. So I did some research about Groundlings, and I decided that it was something I was really interested in doing and getting some really quality improv experience and education. Thus, this is why I decided to audition. They're constantly updating new audition days and times. And after I had scheduled mine, I went online to do some research and see what I could find out about the audition process. There wasn't a lot. There was one blog post I remember, and it was kind of helpful. I'll post that in the links below if I can relocate it. I was a little bit nervous, and not having substantial experience in comedy or improv. So if you're interested in Groundlings, I would definitely recommend you go to the website and do some research and reading of your own just to see if it's a good fit for you. I think improv could be very helpful to anyone in the entertainment industry, especially for actors and comedians. I think I'm pretty... Going into it, like I said, I was nervous, but I did have a bit of confidence because I think I'm pretty witty and creative, and I can come up with quick things on the fly, which is a lot of what improv is. There are some rules and guidelines that they encourage you to stick to, in which they briefly went over in the audition, and I'm sure they'll go over a lot more once the classes begin. First of all, or second of all, or wherever I am in this process, I auditioned. A week after my audition, I was in Hawaii, aloha, and I got an email from Groundlings. I passed the auditions. I was accepted. Thank you. So as of today, I enrolled in the basic course, and I start in October. So I'm really excited, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to meet new people and make some friends and just get into it and be hilarious. So I signed up for an audition, and you go to the school location, which is on Melrose, right in the heart of Melrose, where all the shops and stuff are. And I love that area, by the way, so fun. And I was running a little bit late.
So I parked on the meter, and I was like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Chariots of Fire, running to get there on time because I'm an idiot. And I had like my binder of stuff, and I was wearing jeans and stupid clothes to be running in down the street in Los Angeles. And I'm running, and my papers fall from my binder, and they're scattered across the sidewalk, and I have to pause and gather all my stuff. It was like the most embarrassing first day of school, as depicted in all teenage movies and television series.
I made it on time. So there's an instructor, and he gathers all the peeps who are there for the audition. By the way, it's a closed audition, so people who aren't auditioning cannot watch, but you're also auditioning with a group. I was probably in a group of 20 people, and the instructor said that our group was bigger than they usually have. He said usually it's like 10 or 13 people maybe. And we walked in this room and did introductions, and the instructor asked for us to bring up our resume and headshots if we had it. A lot of people didn't, and it wasn't a big deal. So if you have it, definitely bring it, because you should. But if you don't, or if you forget it, then it didn't hinder any part of the opportunity. He did give some guidelines about, you know, just relax, and he said don't try to be funny, just... Ew. Just so you know, that was a piece of tuna from my food earlier. So anyways, we just jumped into it and we played some games. We broke into 2 groups to begin with. Someone from the other group who's not participating at the time gives us a name and an activity. For example, Casey going to the library. Okay, that's pretty simple. Then the group who are participating, we stand in a straight line and the instructor points at us one by one randomly for like different amounts of time, and we tell a story where we don't repeat anything the person before us said, and we just continue the story without being a total idiot, where it's like, Casey was going to the library and he noticed his shoe was untied, so he bent over to tie his shoe and it turned into a watermelon and everyone started crying, and then there was a fire and my mom called me and she said she hated me. Okay, I guess that could happen, but the point was to get from point A to point B and
be awesome.
So anyways, our group did that and the other group did that, and then everyone sat down again, and then he called us up 2 at a time. He gave us a really general breakdown for a scene, saying, okay, you're a father and a son and the son is packing for college, or you're an actor and a stylist getting ready for an award show. And then he says go, and you go, and each participant or actor just starts talking and moving and acting without any further instructions. So basically whoever talks first chooses which role they are. So I was doing the scene with the dude where it's an actor and a stylist getting ready, and the guy said something to me about, did you get my outfit ready? So immediately he's the actor and I'm the stylist, and then we just continue playing in that setting. There were a few rules, very easy to follow. When he showed up, he was like, everyone just chill out, have fun, do not try to be funny. Which for me was a huge relief, because like in my mind, that's why comedy is so scary, and like stand-up, I have so much respect for stand-up comedians and people who work in comedy, because your goal is humor, and you know immediately when someone doesn't think it's funny because they don't laugh and they're not smiling, and then it's just awkward. Take the objective and work in that moment and do what you're led to do, basically. You know what I mean? So don't force comedy, don't force humor, don't, oh, I'm hilarious, or anything like that. Everyone got 2 chances, 2 different scenes to work in playing these games. It was good because you can't blame it on having a bad scene partner or having a lame criteria for your scene or whatever. It was like really fun, and they say to block out 2 hours, and it took an hour from beginning to end. I'm trying to remember some of the other rules. I know one for sure was, in an improv scene, you need to accept anything that is created. I'll just give an example because that's the easiest way. He was so much better at explaining this. Say I'm in a scene with another person and I'm having an anniversary with the other scene partner, okay? We're having dinner, and then my scene partner says,
by the way, I went through your cell phone and I know you're cheating on me.
Once the person says that, I can't be like,
I did not cheat on you.
Or argue, because arguing's boring. It's just going back and forth and yes I did, no I didn't, blah blah blah. That's not as interesting as it would be if you just rolled with it. So if someone says,
by the way, I went to your phone and I saw that you're cheating on me.
I'd be like,
I mean, honey, it's nothing. It's nothing, I tell you. Happy anniversary.
You can't be like,
No, you cheated on me.
that like kind of breaks up the flow and it's choppy, it's not as interesting, blah blah blah. Before we even started, he said that if you're auditioning for Groundlings to become a Groundling as an accompanying member, which is very competitive and very difficult to do, he said not to do groundlings. Becoming a groundling company member should not be your main goal. If you're doing groundlings to learn and expand your skills and become more comfortable with comedy and improv, then that is perfect. Not to go into it saying, I'm going to be the next Kristen Wiig. I'm going to be the next Pee Wee Herman. Being straight up about it, that it is very competitive and it's not likely that you will be a company member. Not to say you won't be, but you probably won't be. So it's a school, and hopefully if you're attending, you're going to better yourself and learn some things. That's my experience, and hopefully this can help some of you who are kind of on the fence about doing groundlings. Maybe you're too nervous, maybe you don't really understand what it is. I would encourage you to just try it and see what happens. If you audition and you pass, your results are good for a year. So if you are accepted to groundlings and you're too busy and your schedule won't allow you to do it immediately after your audition, you have a whole year to enroll in any of the classes, and they're constantly updating and adding more classes and more auditions, like all the time. So keep checking the website. If you don't pass the audition, you can try again 4 months after your audition date. If for some reason you don't get in, I'm sorry, but it's fine. Especially if you're working in LA in the industry, a big no shouldn't be what shuts you down. Just come back again in 4 months and audition and you'll nail it. Groundlings just started this cool scholarship thing, and you can apply for it by clicking the link in the description box below, because that's really awesome. And it's kind of an equal opportunity scholarship that I think they just started. I saw it on Twitter and on the website and the emails that I've been getting. So it seems like a pretty fresh thing, and that's really great. The auditions are free, and you should get your results if you're accepted within 1 week following the audition date. So that's my story, my Groundlings audition story. I might do some vlog update videos and let you know what's happening and what the school is like and these classes and stuff. So I really encourage you to audition regardless of how interested you are in the Groundlings. If you have a little bit of an interest, I'd say just go do it, because auditioning is a great experience, especially doing improv. I have gone to auditions before, and the whole audition is improv, where they give you a scenario and they ask you to act or react a certain way within specific guidelines, and it's intense, and you have to really depend on yourself and work off yourself, because you probably don't even have anyone in the scene with you. In a lot of auditions, it's just you and the casting director or producers or whoever the heck it is. If you have any questions and or comments, please leave them in the comments below. Also, subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. I'd really, really appreciate that. Oh, P.S. I meant to say this earlier, but because there are so many instructors and different people who run the auditions, chances are your audition will not be exactly the same as mine. Please do not use this video as your Groundlings audition Bible. I just wanted to give you an idea of how it could be and what to think, but the games will probably not be the same. Your audition may be longer, etc., etc. So just keep that in mind and have fun.